Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Jane Gardner again, and I'm back. Back to finish it off. I am going to do week 63 of Build Your Business. It was 52 weeks, but when I added a couple things on, it became 63, and including summaries, of course. So today I'm going to look at do a summary of the whole model, and we'll look at some of the things we talked about in the show. So we're going to be talking about quite a few things, and I'm going to show you a business model and how it works, kinda. And yeah, let's get started with the presentation because we got lots to go through. So welcome. Welcome, welcome. I am going to have to find out where I put my other presentation, but in the meantime, we're going to implement, get into action, and grow with our Build Your Business principles. So we have discussed in a lot of ways, and I've got me in the wrong place, obviously. This isn't changing. No, this is our presentation we'll be going through. And now, what did I do with the presentation? Come on, presentation, you're supposed to move. Oh, I see, that's an old presentation. So guess what? We're going to improvise, and we're going to show you how to use XSplit. So when you have the old presentation in the presentation because you were busy with other things, I was watching the FA Cup and Manchester United is winning right now. So we are going to add a news source and do a desktop capture of our presentation. And then it bounces into the window, and then we open it up into the window. So now it's interactive and we can talk about our principles. So we have been talking about developing your core principles and your mindset, which creates your brand because you're going to position yourself as an educator, do a weekly workshop, at the same time monetize with your product snowball, making offers, and using a strategic marketing framework so everything is easy to do every week because you're doing a weekly workshop. And from that weekly workshop, you're going to create a content factory, and you're going to build a massive network of audience, collaborators, and partners. And you're going to be a media mogul, only concentrating on one media and getting into production mode, creating stories, and then build a learning center from everything you've been doing and create an online community with those people from the learning center, and they become your raving fans. So they will go out and increase your audience by promoting your product offers, and put systems in place to make this a nice, simple way to do a business. So we're going to have a look at the business model review. And let's see if I can find the right, oh, I did find the right window before of where I had it. And there it is. But of course, we're going to have to increase the size. So I have a business model I put down and started at the very beginning with 15 times 4 rows of subjects. And we're going to go over each subject today. And let's see if we can get it large enough so that you can see it. And almost there. So first of all, we talked about our core principles and our core values. In the first week, and talked about how you need to make sure that your core values are always being expressed in your business. And then we talked about everybody needs to identify your core values, and you've got to recognize the importance of core values. And we looked at some real life examples to show why defining them is critical. and also listed the elements in creating strong core values and be able to identify your values while you're in business. So we looked at people like Oprah Winfrey or Donald Trump, and you could see what some of the values they stand for. And then we suggested that you develop a video diary to promote your core values. And we don't need any notes for that because it's pretty obvious. So we developed a core video diary and said, well, why don't you track for 30 days or 10 days, whatever, and create a challenge where you challenge yourself to do a video diary of whatever you do in your business and send it out to your audience. And and always make sure that you have your core values and your teaching points for your business in your video diary. So that was another way to promote your your values. And then let's see if we have a last one. I think we just wrapped up this, and so this is the principles sum up week. So we defined your core values, and we did that recently. So all the last series is all about summing up. So then we decided we would talk about developing your entrepreneurial mindset. So I talked about how important mindset is for you when you're in business. And in the second session, we talked about defining and adopting a mindset for growth rather than a mindset for static. And we're going to dispel some of the limiting beliefs that were holding you back. So we did that in the second session. And then in the third session, we talked about the mindset traits of the entrepreneur. I've done a series called The Mindset Traits of the Entrepreneur. And there's about 15, I think, traits. And I had developed that into a show. So, and then of course we summed up how important mindset was to your business and how you should incorporate it into your business. And then we talked about developing your brand and how it's important and how doing what you do will create your brand, as well as you also have to be focused and understand your brand. And we talked about how I feel a brand is your promise and your commitment and what you stand for and stand against in your business. It's not really just your colors and your logo and such. So you have to make sure that your brand reflects your core values and what you want to do in business. And then your brand will develop from everything that you do. And then I didn't mention what we did here. I think that was probably looking at I don't know. Didn't save that one. But we looked at some of the core values like positive attitude that will help you develop your brand. I think we looked at some sample businesses and how they use their brand in their business to brand their website and their colors, etc. So we did look at colors and brand. And then we did a sum up, of course. And then we also looked at position yourself as an educator. And the second episode, we looked at what to do about competition. And basically, we said for that you are basically not really competing with your competitors because you are unique in that you do a weekly workshop. And you can certainly probably partner with your competitors in terms of doing things and looking at doing summits together, that kind of thing. And then we looked at the first steps of starting and doing a weekly workshop, some of the things you need to set up in order to make a weekly workshop work for you, of course, and make it easy for you to do. And then we had a review of doing a weekly workshop and positioning yourself as an educator. So because you're positioning yourself as an educator, this is a unique position of saying that you are basically an expert because you're positioning yourself that way and obviously sharing your knowledge every week on your weekly workshop. So we looked at the part of the business model, which is all about doing a weekly workshop. And then we second episodes, we looked at starting with the offer for the weekly workshop. You know, making sure that whatever you offer in terms of a product is going to be relevant to the weekly workshop that you're doing and making it all coherent. So you have to sort of create a calendar, and you have to make sure you're doing it weekly for repurposing for traffic, because this is what's going to get your traffic and your audience in passively, because they'll see you doing a weekly workshop and you won't have to do any ads for it. Because basically then we look at getting traffic for your workshop and how you can use your massive network, which is another part of the model, to attract people to share your weekly workshop with their audience, or to have your network come and be an expert on your weekly workshop, so that also attracts their audience to your weekly workshop, etc. When you're doing a weekly workshop, that becomes an attractant for your business niche, that people are interested in maybe getting on your weekly workshop to share their knowledge with your audience. So we talked about all the passive ways that you can do traffic for, and the weekly workshop will be the thing that brings in the traffic. But at the same time, of course, we have to monetize our weekly workshop. So we discussed the concept of a product snowball and how you would do a product. You don't do launches, you just do a product weekly, make an offer, have it ready, or monthly, of course, as you start out. Maybe you can get it up to weekly when you get help. So we asked what constitutes a good offer for a product, and obviously it has to be relevant to your weekly workshop. And we looked at the challenges of creating an offer and how you can obviously outsource some of it or use the same graphics for each, keep a theme and brand it in that way. And then you can invest in research and development to make sure that you're always developing new ideas for product offers that are relevant. Because of course, when we looked at what constitutes a good offer, it was always something that the audience wants. It's a simple problem that has a simple solution, and they get a result from that product. So it doesn't have to be anything big. It has to be something that they could buy and quickly do a result. And then so that's this way you're not in the cycle of product launching every quarter. You're basically just making offers basically every week or every month with a product. And then we looked at developing your strategic marketing plan and creating it, and how to set it up, and how to set up and develop your unique selling proposition, your USP, and how that will be what also attracts people to your weekly workshop, and how to solve any marketing problem, and brand level strategy, and automating your marketing with funnels, etc. So these are all episodes that should be of interest to you. So let's have a look at creating a content factory. So this is basically using what you have in your weekly workshop to take sound bites or bites of, or make products of part of your weekly workshop, to create content that can go out onto social media and platforms, and maybe onto YouTube to develop and create an area where you're marketing your business. And of course, we always have to make sure with your content that it's branded, and that you plant your flag as to what your core beliefs are and values, and what your brand is in your product. So in content, it should always have, say, your logo, etc., and always be talking about your values in order to attract people who are relevant to your business. And then we talked about how to create unique products, and the journey and teaching. You could weave that into your content and your personal story into your content factory as you go along. And one of the most important things for traffic is to build a massive network of other people. So introducing yourself to others and being on their list and connecting and finding collaborators and partners and people who will be interested in your weekly workshop and will want to send traffic to your weekly workshop, which will grow your business when those who are relevant stay and get on your subscription list. And we talked about the chaos theory of making sure that you are basically not trying to be an affiliate for other influencers. Your objective at all times is to concentrate and focus on getting their audience over to your list. So, and then we talked about thinking inside of the box and ways that you can do affiliate promotion and attract others to come and be an affiliate for you only because you want to have their audience, rather than you making a lot of money from affiliate promotion. And it's one way for you to network and get more growth in your audience. And then we talked about being a media mogul and how you should concentrate on only one media platform and become known for that platform. So for example, I do video, so I'm known for that platform, and my YouTube channel is very large. And you basically focus on that, and then you can obviously use that information, that text or that audio or the video, and break it up into text and audio afterwards, and to market to your other venues. And we looked at audio masters as podcasting, one of the ways that you can become a media instant mogul in terms of getting known as a podcaster, and how to keep your prospects close and your customers closer by being a media mogul and choosing the right media for traffic. So don't go over and to Reddit and try and work there if that isn't your audience, because you're wasting your time. And then we talked about getting into production mode. For some people, that's a bit harder to understand, but basically it's about doing case studies and doing challenges, doing unique things like summits, so that you stand out and show people who you are, and prioritize minimum monetization, and just make sure that you're always growing your audience, and that's the priority for anything that you do, whether it be a challenge or basically they sign up and get as your subscribers, so you're growing your audience. And you start with your buyer in mind and think what they would want, and always, rather than doing something that you would like to do, and have a focus and be intentional in terms of your buyer. Now, from your weekly workshop and from your product offers, you can build a learning center. And we talked about how good this is to be an asset for your business, because it'll have a lot of the production that you've done in the learning center, whether it's segmented depending on the audience or it's all in one place. You build a learning center which will be a recurring revenue, and you can structure your learning center so that it's got 3 or 4 levels depending on your customers. So you can have one that is free, you could have one that's for people about one product, and you can have one for clients, and you can have one for coaching. And then we discussed the learning center platform and some of the things you have to think about in terms of the learning center. And we did a sum up, of course. And from the learning center, we can create an online community. We could start maybe with some of the people who come to your weekly workshop, but most importantly, it's for a community from your learning center. And you build a community around your ideas and your values, and you look at making the possibility of doing a paid community that's got more access to you, as well as ideas like doing a summit on your core ideas, or doing a focus on creating a group in Facebook or LinkedIn that goes into another community. And then from your community, we discussed how you can then, from the people who become long-term customers, long-term clients, you can train them at all times in that you are interested in having them be affiliates for the offers that you have, and how they can be the ones who can spread and increase your audience by promoting your product offers, getting the commission for those offers because they know about your business the most. They'll be very good affiliates for your business. And then we looked at free offers and viral application and how that can also grow your audience. Maybe what to set up for your rules for your affiliate application, and how to develop that all in at the very beginning, at the very start. Start thinking about your affiliate toolbox right now for your affiliates, even if you don't have any subscribers yet. You want to start off right away making them aware that you do have an affiliate program. And then most importantly, we talked about putting systems in place and making sure that they have that there is core systems that are automatic in your business, and these will be the things that help you get freer lifestyle, we'll call it, more time to yourself, because you're going to develop the 5 systems for an online business, whether it's having a place for storage, having a place for having a place monetization, a sales system, an affiliate system, a website hub, as well as I think there's the marketing system. Putting some of these systems automatically in place, as well as we looked at some of the things you may not think about in terms of your business, including the financial system, and how all these systems will free up your time so that you can actually grow and you're not limited by your time, in terms of how you can make it so that systems will help your business grow when you're sleeping. And when you're taking time off, your systems are always working, and you're outsourcing some stuff to your business, etc., so that you have systems that will help free up your time as you grow and get bigger. So these were some of the things that we talked about over the last year. And what I've done is tried to sort of, well, it's not going to move, but I was hoping to show the business model. So I worked on this, and I'll just make it smaller because we're not going to look at them in detail. And basically, this is the build your business framework of this business model. And it's a business model that you can work with in any niche, in any business, in that you can you don't have to do a lot of instant. It's instant millionaire type thing. It's basically a business that will grow as you grow your business. So you will have in your business model, you will have assets. So positioning yourself as an educator will make you unique in the internet world. And that will be an asset to your business because you will be doing a weekly workshop in your business, and that will be another asset. And you'll, of course, have a product snowball of all these product offers. And when you make the product offer, of course, you have to make a product. And so you'll have assets of products. And then you'll have a strategic marketing plan that will set up funnels and everything else that you need to just do product selling, and that will be an asset, as well as, of course, all the systems that you have in your business. Now, from your weekly workshop, you don't have to feel overwhelmed, because when you do a weekly workshop and you record it, you can, of course, have other assets. You can put the weekly workshop into a learning center and start building that there. You can also put some of your workshop activities into the content factory to send out on social media, as well as you can get into production mode and do challenges and summits and things like that in on days separate from your weekly workshop, and create assets, which of course will go into your learning center. And your content maybe even can go into learning, depending on what kind of content you make. And from that assets of your learning center, you can create an online community within your learning center or separate from your learning center. But the audience that is coming from your weekly workshop, who subscribe every week to go and see a weekly workshop, they may be interested in buying, they may be interested in coming into the community, or coming into the learning center. And so you're basically getting your audience. So, and then of course from your online community, you can of course get your affiliate army, who will help to increase your reach. And of course they will also go into your learning center. Now, as you're doing all this, of course, you're passively developing your brand. You're making sure it's on point, and your mindset and your core values. Those are all being developed and known, because you probably have these values, etc., from having a weekly workshop. And because you're always talking about your values and you're doing other things about your values, etc. So the traffic from this is very important to consider. Obviously, you are sending some content out onto social media, so that will get some traffic back to the weekly workshop. But the most important ones is being a media mogul and deciding which media you want to develop, and you're building your massive network. The key to this business model is that you have to go and network and reach out to other people, whether those other people will be collaborators, whether they'll be partners, affiliates, or any other kind of relationship as you go along. This is where you're going to be getting your audience. So this business model is based on building your business by building your audience, which is building your subscribers, which is building your, they buy and then they become buyers, and then they come customers, and then they come clients who maybe will want to do your one-on-one coaching. So this business model is, I like this business model. It's a slow growth, but it's an important growth because it's all about connections and relationships. So if you want to look further at some of these episodes, I think I've got up to 60 in this membership, but you can join for free training at, hold on here, we're getting there, at http://jgtips.com/byb-free. BYBFREE. In that, you can, I think it's about the second email, you can get the link, the free link to go in and see the 60 episodes. They are labeled, and from these episodes, I'm going to be developing basically implementation for these episodes. I think probably on a Saturday we'll go through trainings. I just have to think about that one. Obviously, that's why I'm hesitating. But for example, let's say for Be a Media Mogul, we would focus on writing your own book and what you need to do to consider. And maybe for that week, you would do what I talk about in the 20-minute video. Decide which media you're in or whatever, and we'll have a worksheet and that kind of thing. So that's what's going to maybe happen, or maybe I'll be doing action training. I don't know. So there's also the Facebook group, Implement Club. I really have to try and go and get a separate link. Oh, Facebook, why do you annoy me? I have to get a separate link for Facebook, my Facebook group, Implement Club. I I know how to do it. I just haven't done it because I like multi-broadcasting and multi-streaming to the various pages that I have. But it looks like I'll have to do a separate link that's unique for Implement Club in order to get in there. So I haven't bothered. I just go to the page. So if you're on a page and you don't know where everything is, try looking at the page. Anyway, that's nice and vague. So thank you for listening. I know some of you have made comments, and I appreciate that. I should have really, whatever. I'm not that type of person to want distractions. So I will be leaving you for now, and I will make an announcement on my Build Your Business 52-week email list as to what I'm doing next. I have a feeling I'm probably going to be doing the implementation trainings, one of 7 for a week, and then I'll fill the rest for the 7. And so this, course would be like, here, let's go back to this. Where did I put it? It would be like, okay, this is week, be a media mogul, for example, and then I would do there would be a training live for that, and then I would probably add 6 other trainings in the paid course with this videos, or maybe I'll break them up. It might have to break them up in terms of each concept, because a lot of these trainings have been 20 minutes, and this one has been 32, so it can get kind of long, and it might be worth breaking them up and making them so there's actionable steps. So in the paid program, you can drip the information and get sent a worksheet, for example, to do the episode for that day, and then continue on and drip the next one, etc. That seems to me to be a more useful way to do this. Although, for most of the training, I've said that basically, most of the training, I've said that it needs to be, you have to be doing every step at the same time. So, building your affiliate platform, deciding on a membership community platform, deciding on what media you're going to do, which social media you're going to do, and making an outline for your weekly workshop so you have it for the year, etc. It all seems to have to work at the same time. So I'm just thinking about that right now and deciding it might have to be little segments each time on each of them or not. Because your core values and your brand and your mindset is all up to you. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for listening, and I'll be sending out an email next week on what I think I'll be doing. Probably some training. I like to train.